I'm going to start off by saying very much, I guess, my talk doesn't really, well, it sort of touches on some things that Mr. Malik just said, but I've got a goal. I have a goal that I've been working on since 2008, and I haven't got it yet. My goal is to go and represent basically myself and basically Australia at the Ironman World Championships. Now, do people know what Ironman is about?
It's like a beach and ocean swim run contest, like e-boards and stuff.
No, that's one form. We have this tension between these two forms of Ironman out there.
Isn't it like the cross-country course with like mud in the middle of it and like...
It's tough mudder.
That's tough mudder.
No. Absolutely. So, I have this passion. It's a crazy passion that many of my friends and family and even, a lot of, students here know that I do. I've been doing this Ironman triathlon now since, what are we going, nearly 8-9 years. So if you're not aware, Ironman triathlon is a 3.8k swim, then a 180k bike ride, and then a marathon. Okay, so 42.2k run, one after each other. It's a race. I've been doing it now I've just finished my 11th Ironman. My goal is to go over to Hawaii. You may have seen footage on the news. It's not very widely covered, but it's to go and compete in Hawaii. It is the mecca of long course triathlon, and that is my goal. And I have been trying to get there for a long period of time. If you do the maths, 8-9 years. Okay, there are two ways to qualify. You can do it by time. Okay, I'm not going to go through how it works out, but you need to get a certain time in your age group, and then you get what they call a slot. Okay, I have competed in Cairns 3 times. I've competed in New Zealand once. I've competed in Port Macquarie in New South Wales 3 times. I've competed in Busselton, Western Australia 2 times, and in Melbourne twice. So that should be roughly 11. Okay. Each time I have a goal. So within that big goal, I have these smaller goals. And I am not going to get a podium. Okay? I know that. And I've come to the conclusion that is the case. So I'm comfortable with that in my own sort of physical and emotional self around that. But my goal is each time is to do a personal best or to do my best. So in December last year, so let's put the year in context of my year last year. Beginning of the year, okay, if any of your parents or even some of you, I had a double hernia operation, okay? And then I recovered from that and went and did an Ironman. So that was in February. I then was competing in an Ironman in June. Okay, so training for an Ironman takes, to do it well and to be able to do it without collapsing and killing yourself, is at least 4 to 5 months of training. Now remember, it's 3 disciplines. It's swim, bike, run. So you're training for 3 sports. Okay, so I would train anywhere between 15 to 24 hours a week. A lot of the training in the week is on a bike, and the weekend is on a bike. So I would spend 5 hours on a Saturday morning riding up Mount Nebo, Mount Glorious, down towards Mount Mead and out that way. And I'd spend a lot of time. So the training's intense. Okay? I have a commitment. When I train, that's my commitment, that I am committed to doing the best I can. So I had an operation, then I had my first Ironman in Cairns. And I knew, I was comfortable with myself that my goals was just to finish. Okay, that was number 10, and there's a reason why I'm telling you the number I've done, because it's the second way of qualifying. Then in December, I went and competed over in Busselton in Western Australia. Now that was a competition or a race that I was putting my everything into. I'd had a really good lead up. my training was consistent. I was getting sessions, I was ticking sessions off. Okay, I was comfortable with my training. My nutrition was really good, because I probably should have contextualised it. So an Ironman takes me anywhere between 10 hours 22 through to the cut-off for people is 17 hours. Okay, so that's the amount of time you're out there. That's a whole day. So nutrition is key. So in the training, you practice your nutrition. On the bike, you're on it for 5 hours. You need to eat and drink and keep your levels of energy up, because if you don't, the whole thing falls apart. So in this race in Western Australia, I'd got that. My training was perfect, just perfect. My swimming was coming along, a lot of strength work in the pool. I got it right. Travelled takes, for those who've travelled to Western Australia, and particularly Busselton, which is 2 hours south of Perth, okay, it takes about 8 hours to get there. So I left Brisbane on Thursday, so Thursday was travel. Friday is a recovery day because the travel takes it out of you. And then you set up your bike and blah, blah. So race day comes. I get the swim done. I do the swim in 56 minutes. I'm a wrap with that. Okay, the pros do the swim around 45 minutes. Okay, so in Western Australia, if you've ever been to Busselton, there's this big jetty. It's 1.9 kilometres out to sea. You swim up, round, basically 1.9 kilometres out, and then 1.9 back, and gives you the 3.8. So I was wrapped with the swim. The bike is a flat course. So for my own personal physical favourite, or the way I prefer, I like a flat bike course. Because if you time trial bikes, you sit down on the aero bars, okay, and you just go. And the way the course is, at times you turn, so it gives you a chance to get up, stretch your back, okay, stretch your legs out, stretch your quads, hammies, okay, so it gives you a break. So my goal on that was to ride to a heart rate. So we ride to heart rate, and we also ride to power, but that's another thing. So my goal was ride at 70% heart rate. I nailed it. Because obviously we've got monitors on us and things like that to monitor that. Okay, so 70%, I got off the bike in 5 hours, 14 minutes. And I was wrapped with that. Okay, I got onto the run. My first 10K, I was thinking, this is brilliant. Okay, got it nailed. Okay, I was running at roughly about 5:15 pace. Okay, 5:05 5:30 sort of pace. That's what I wanted to hold for the whole race, so to give me a sub 4 hour marathon. I got to about 10K, and then all of a sudden, okay, I started cramping. I started cramping in the stomach. Okay, took me 20K before I could run again to get to work. So mentally, it becomes a mental battle. I have to fight with my head, because my head is saying, no, walk away, give up, you can't do this, your stomach's cramping, you've got nothing left in you, you don't want to keep going. And that's not me. From a person, every race I've done, I've finished, and that's also a goal. So I got through 20K of walk, run. So aid stations every 2K. Now, aid station's like a smorgasbord. So you can get Vegemite on a paddle pop sticks, which I just can't deal with, all right, to get the salt content, through to lollies, through to watermelon, through to Gatorade, or an electrolyte drink, to cookies, to everything. So I was using the aid stations just to cola is the big thing I go to. Okay, so for 20K, I'm trying to just work through this. So walk, run. Okay, and in the meantime, I've got people passing me, and mentally, it's doing my head in. Okay, about 32K, okay, I've actually worked through it. I actually feel good, okay, and I actually start running back at that 5-minute pace, and I finished the race, at 10 hours 40, and I I was really, at the time when you finished, I was really disappointed because I'd stuffed up something in my nutrition or something in the race, and I'm still trying to work out. This is now the third race that's happened to me. I've got on the run and I just have hit the wall through my stomach not agreeing with something. Okay? So is it the exertion I put on my body for 10 hours? Is that causing an issue? Have I got my nutrition or hydration wrong somewhere in there? So the next day you can go and pick up your bike and pick up all your gear. I got back to my bike. Nutrition is down to a T. I have 5 water bottles and I use a sort of a food hydration mix. So I'm getting food and hydration in at the same time. I still had 1 full bottle left on my bike. So that started to think. That started to make me think. I hadn't actually used all my nutrition. Was that a cause? What has caused me to have these issues? And still to this day, I still don't know. Because I've put my body through a hell of a lot, through the training and then through the race. And so, your body throws things up, whether it's, whether you're doing your own sort of cross-country race or you're doing swimming, or if you're doing sort of any other sport, netball, volleyball, okay? Your body will tell you, and one of the big things that you need to learn to listen to your body. But I guess that in sharing that story, I'm still wondering what it is that's causing me this grief, let's call it grief, on the run. I've done 11 of these races. One of my other goals, I have goals everywhere, is to run 4 hours, sub 4 hour marathon. I have not done it yet. Okay, so the run is something on the run or before the run is letting me down, and I'm not sure. But that's just, I hope that sort of stimulates some thinking around, what's involved in an endurance event, what you have to think about, okay, what is possible, what we can do, what the body can do. And it is, like the whole race is I say it's sort of 80% up here, 80% mental, and it's 10% physical and 10% hydration, nutritional. All right? Anyway, food for thought. Thanks, guys.
How did that make you feel?
It made me feel inspired, I feel like the dedication he showed was incredible.
Oh, that's what I didn't get there. There is another way, I know, I didn't get there. If you do 12 Ironman races, they give you, you get what they call a legacy spot. Okay, and that's because you've been mad enough to do it 12 times, okay, and you've committed to, it is a brand, Ironman, okay, that long that they give you a spot. And there's criteria I have to meet within that. So I'm at 11, okay, I've got some injuries at the moment, I'm getting investigated, so I'm actually having at least 9 months off training to get that right. Yes. So, it's going to kill me. It's going to kill me.
So that means you're going to take it easy in cross-country season? You're not running the cross-country season?
I will. That's my out.
OG.